Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Around the Emirates with Sarah. I'm here with a very interesting guest, Sinitta. Hello.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello, hello. So, for those of you that don't know, Sinitta is the founder and creator of Mama Care, which is a postnatal tailored service that helps mothers who have just given birth with their needs. Right? Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so before I mess that up anymore, please tell me your story and why you founded this.
Well, I was a very young mom. I didn't ever plan my pregnancy. It just happened and I went with the flow. And like every other mom, I was more excited about my baby coming in, finding out the gender, doing up the nursery. And yeah, we just Google a bit here and there about what to take in your hospital bag because it was all about, oh, people are going to come and visit me. What am I going to be wearing? What is the baby going to be wearing? I had everything prepared for that, but I had no idea as to what postpartum was. And I never actually kind of even looked into it because I've realized that even now while I'm doing this, is that new moms, first time moms don't really want to know what happens afterwards. It's just like, let's not just talk about, oh my God, postpartum is going to be painful. No, let's just be butterflies and everything is
Mm-hmm.
good about pregnancy, about your baby, but nothing about postpartum. So that's exactly where I was, never planned anything. And when that happened, oh my God, it was just, I was just shocked as to all those things that happened to me. And then somewhere I should be like, why me? Why just me? Why didn't I know about it? Or is it just me in this whole wide world? And then I started to Google and then I started to realize, oh my God, this happens to a lot of moms, but it just
Mm.
doesn't show up. People, it's just that no one educates you about it. Nobody talks about it. And then obviously it took me a little longer than a normal person would take to recover because I had to first discover what happens, then educate myself, then figure out the products that I need. And there's no like a section somewhere that will say, oh, here, moms, come here, this is what you need after postpartum. No, you kind of have to go look for it, find it,
Right.
find an alternative if you don't have it, and things like that. So yes, once I got over all of that, physically I recovered. That's when my sister got pregnant and I just told her. She obviously was with me through the whole process, but she didn't know. Still, she also didn't want to discuss about it, and I told her, no
Mm.
way, you have to take these products with you. XYZ has to go in your bag. This is what's going to happen to you. You have to face the reality. And she used to hate me. She's like, you're just taking all the fun out of my pregnancy.
Oh
I'm
no.
like, no, but yeah, but you need to know. And then when she delivered her baby, she thanked me. She said, I don't know what I would have done without this. I don't have the time right now to go look for these products. I'm just focused on my baby and myself.
Mm.
So yeah, that's where the whole idea, came to life, where I said, oh, I need to help moms. I need to help all the first time moms. I think they have no clue as to what happens, and educate and just talk about this. Talk about, be it a positive or a negative birth. We need to talk about it. We need to, make every mom feel comfortable. Every mom should be prepared. So yeah, that's how Mama Care came to life.
That's remarkable for you to like. I think that one of my favorite things about this story is the fact that not only did you find almost a gap in the market, not like as an entrepreneur, but you also found something that would help make a positive impact, which is something that I stand
Yes.
for very strongly with my podcast. So obviously, a lot of first-time moms get really scared, just like you said. Were you not scared yourself to take the first step to create this company? Like, how did you feel when you wanted to put this together?
Yes, it was quite. It took like 3 to 4 years. So it's like 5 years to my birth, my natural birth that I had. So initially, the first year was just like I was quite traumatized, honestly, with the whole birthing process. And oh my
Mm.
God, why do women have to even do this? Why can't we just, why is there no easier way out? But then I started to educate myself. Then I started to see that, oh my, it's so hard to find these products in this part of the world. So I had my baby in the States. The products were much more easier to find them. They were just easily available over the counter, for example. But in Dubai, it was not as easy to find them than my sister. For my sister, I had to get them shipped.
Mm.
So that's when I started to source these products. So it took me at least 2 years to source the right products, test each of them. First, I tested them on myself, then on my sister or my sister-in-law. I said, guys, you need to try this because this is something that I
Mm.
want to work with. And then each brand or each manufacturer, I worked with them. It took me 2 years to put the whole identity together as well of my brand, because each and every color has been selected by me. Everything that is packaged, everything has been designed by me personally. The colors, the impact of everything that you see when you get the products, when you get that
Mm,
box, should reflect in a way that it should make you happy, because you're postpartum, all your hormones are just falling
yeah,
apart. Just something to
crashing.
make you laugh. So then, yeah, so the names are like in a fun way. It's like, for example, our cooling ice pads are called patsicles, out of popsicles, just to
I
something
like that.
fun. Or we have like a Long Island latte. So it's not like a nursing tea. It's like, oh, you're having a nice Long Island. So I just
Yeah.
thought about every single product that went in my box, and I'm really glad that that's how it's come together. I didn't mind taking all this time. I think that it's worth it. It's worth it for every mom out there.
So you've mentioned a couple of interesting points there. Firstly, you've talked about the process of elimination, right? Trying different brands. And then you've also talked about how patient you were throughout this process. Like it takes a lot for someone to go through, year after year of essentially putting their personal career, like you could have, gone for any kind of corporate job, right? But you focus so much on this new company. So that leads me to my next question. Out of all the things that you experienced in those few years, what would you say was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
Well, in those years, I didn't find anything as challenging. It was easy to, like, I took some time to source everything. What I
Okay.
found the biggest challenge was right now, when I started my brand, when I started to get out there, started to talk about it, I realized, because this is when I realized that first time moms are actually not interested. They're not interested in knowing what happens. And that's when I
Mm,
reflected upon myself. When they don't want to talk about anything negative around their pregnancy, anything that is, it just reflects like a negative. Is when I go to them and I tell them, this is what's going to happen to you, and it's going to be terrifying. They don't want to talk about it. So I find that it's very hard to educate them. Hence, I realized that second time moms are actually my correct audience. They understand postpartum, they've gone through it. So now if I have to be a mother again, for example, I will value these products. I'll be like, oh, I know what she's talking about. And then I would then go to a first time mom and explain to them. So they are all like my lawyers. I feel that all second time moms here are the ones who lawyer me up. First time moms don't, and I'm still working on it. That's the reason I'm doing this podcast, for example. I want all first time moms to listen to me, to take this seriously, to educate themselves, to be prepared.
it's
That's the
interesting.
challenge.
Thank you for sharing that. It's interesting that it's not until we go through the complications ourselves the first time that we understand, oh, this is happening again. I need help. I think in general, there's a stigma around, postpartum kind of discussions and being, a first-time mother, like the kind of experiences, not just that your body go through, but that you go through, like in terms of your lack of sleep, etc. So I think that it's really important for, the message for this podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong. For us to talk about the importance of reaching out for help as early as possible, so that you don't suffer, as long as you do. But I'm sure that you've had really kind of interesting kind of clientele. Like, is there anything like you want to share, that like some kind of personal anecdote maybe that we can share with the audience?
Well, it's just out of my experience again. This is how, again, this kind of built up to mama care. So after I went through, I just say a lot of pain and a lot of hell. Sorry to use that word, but that's exactly what happened. Um, I started to then talk about, when I met new moms, I started to talk about that. How was your birth? And a couple of them had very positive births, and they were so reluctant to even share, because it's like, it's just over, we're done with it, let's not talk about it. There were some moms who
Mm,
had the negative birth, who would share their experience as well, fine. And then there were moms who had their babies 3 to 4 years older, much more older. So I told them, what how was it, like, did you get hemorrhoids? They're like, oh yeah, you get hemorrhoids, all you have to do is do XYZ and we'll be fine. I'm like, why why is no one talking about it? Because hemorrhoids was something that came out of the blue for me. I didn't even know how to
mm,
deal with it. I didn't even know something like that existed. Honestly,
wow.
I it took me a while to understand what was the problem down there. I felt it. I'm like, I
Down
don't know
there.
what this is, so painful. Yeah, it is such an intimate area, and that you're so ashamed to share it with your husband or anyone. So it took me so
Mm,
long to to recognize what was wrong with me, and
Mm.
then to figure out, okay, this is something that happens, and then to then heal it. So I could have easily avoided that if someone just came out and said, hey, hemorrhoids, it's so common,
Over here.
everybody gets it. So when I Google pregnancy, now, even if you are a mom, you're not going to Google, hi, will I get hemorrhoids? No. But
Yeah.
it doesn't come up until you Google hemorrhoids during pregnancy or postpartum. No one's going to go Google that until you have it. So what I'm trying to say, it's funny. It's funny that I just wanted to like swear at the mother. I'm like, why are people not talking about it? So that's the thing. Like, let it be a positive or a negative, but there's so many things that happen to our bodies, and we do such a great thing. We take out a baby, we make a human. We should empower ourselves more. We should just talk about it more, and then I think postpartum physical recovery would be much easier. And then if you're a better person, if you're not in pain, you're a better mom, you're a better person generally. So yeah, that's the whole idea. Like, I find it's funny, but I wish that I didn't have to find out like that, I wish that I just knew about it and could take care of it. And I do that. This is the first thing I talk about, by the way, hemorrhoids.
I mean, I completely support and applaud everything you're saying in terms of saying the words that we're too scared to say. Like, yes, we give birth. Yes, something like a little gooey comes out of us, but at the same time, it's a very natural part of the process. And there are pros and cons to that process. And just like you said, you shouldn't have to go through the negativity and like the complications and the pain afterwards and the feelings of depression, etc., without like completely alone, without any help. So I can acknowledge and appreciate that you had to go through that to get to where you are today. But I honestly think that what you're doing is phenomenal, because you said it yourself, you are not a good person. You're not a healthy person unless you are healthy within yourself. And if you're not taking care of yourself and your mental health and your body and making sure that both you and the child are safe and healthy, then that's going to traumatize you, right? That's something that you're going to carry with you. You're going to feel like you didn't recover from what should be, like you said, a very natural experience. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of your insights. Is there any kind of piece of advice or any last word you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, ask for help. I think you started with that. We always need to be prepared to ask for help. There's no shame in asking. We all need help in the first couple of weeks, and it would be a strong person if you actually ask for help. People don't want to ask, and then I don't understand why. It's okay. You need a village to raise a child, and you need to first also give yourself priority so that you recover, and then you can take all you can do everything for your child. But the first couple of weeks, you need to take care of yourself. You need to ask for help. That's the biggest. That's if you follow that, you are good to go. It's going to be so super easy to recover, I would say.
Great. That's the tagline here, guys. Yeah. Ask for help. And if you know people that are pregnant, even if it's a first, second, third child, keep asking them if they need help, because at the end of the day, all we have is each other. But thank you so much, Sinitta, for joining me today. I definitely learned a lot about pregnancy in general. I think that it's something that we definitely need to talk more about and need to empower one another to talk about as well. I will leave it on that note. I think that's a very strong ending to the episode. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. Bye.